Fox Sports.
We are the Force. We are San Diego.
Is there a better city to live in our great nation than San Diego, California, as these kids searching for maybe a lucky seashell? Now, there might be one out there. And then the best thing, you spend the day at the beach, you come to a big league ball game at Petco Park, and the Padres hoping to find a second win in this series against the New York Mets. It's game 2 of a 3-game series, the visiting New York Mets and the homestanding San Diego Padres. Alongside Hall of Famer Tony Gwynn, I'm Mark Grant sitting in for Dick Enberg. And Tony, on the road trip, the San Diego Padres did a great job of hitting with runners in scoring position. And hopefully that bodes well here at home. Last night was a different story with R.A. Dickey on the mound. They need to carry that over. And since July 15th, the San Diego Padres have doing great against hitting with runners in scoring position with the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, and those two teams on top of them are probably two of the hottest teams in all of baseball. So you see the Padres are starting, these young guys are starting to figure it out. They're starting to get an idea that you got to capitalize on those situations when you get guys in scoring position. And then last night, Clayton Richards does a great job getting a bunt down, especially because it's a knuckleballer. You see Eric Cabrera jockeying for position. You don't see this very often. A delayed steal of third, and then a 2-strike fly ball to right field by Tristan Orfia. That's good situational hitting here. Alonso drives the ball into right center field. They take a shot trying to score the run. Carlos Quentin takes a clean shot at Josh Tolley at the plate, and he's got that big old knuckleball glove on, and so the ball gets knocked out. And this is kind of the overlooked run. John Baker comes up with the infield in, gets the ball elevated, drives it to outfield for the base hit that drives in the third run. That's where, to me, the Padres are really starting to get a lot better. When they get these opportunities, their situational hitting has become a whole lot better.
And hopefully for John Baker, getting a bulk of the innings behind the plate, he gets more consistent at the plate. It was 1-for-1 last night with runners in scoring position. John Baker drove in that run for the Padres, ended up winning 3-1. Well, it's time to pass the baton in the Olympic spirit. Clayton Richard won his 8th last night to improve to 8-11. Hey, pass it on to Volke. Edinson Volquez looking to improve to 8-7 on the year. We got Padres baseball coming up right after this. Well, back at Petco Park, Game 2 of a 3-game series. It's your San Diego Padres and the visiting New York Mets after a 3-1 victory last night against a tough knuckleballer by the name of R.A. Dickey. Terry Collins, the 20th manager named in Mets history, joined the ball club in November in 2010, and this is the way Terry Collins will go after these Padres tonight. Leading off, playing shortstop, Ruben Tejada. Batting second, Jordani Valdespin. At third base, batting third, all-star David Wright. Ike Davis will bat cleanup, play first base. Daniel Murphy, Mike Baxter, Andres Torres, Josh Tolle will call the signs tonight behind the plate. And on the hill, Jeremy Hefner for the Mets. And the 29-year-old making his 23rd start of the season, Edinson Volquez, 7-7 record, a 3.51 ERA. And versus the Mets, Tony, he's making his second start of the year, 5th of his career against these Mets. Well, he really battled last time out in Cincinnati. He had to deal with the heat. And when you look at the line, 5 innings, 6 hits. He gave up 5 runs. He walked away with the decision. He got the win.
I think he's pitched better than those numbers indicate. What Black talked about Volquez being a 3-pitch pitcher. What he's done here in the last 4 or 5 starts is really gotten command of the strike zone. He's a guy that throws a lot of pitches because he's around the plate. When he's around the plate, boy, he's a much more effective guy, and hopefully he can continue pitching the way he's pitched.
So Ruben Tejada will lead it off. Got some shadows to deal with here at Petco Park. As game time probably going to be a little late. 5:35 scheduled start, about 5:37.
Players love playing at 5:30.
It's not too popular, is it?
Either side. And this is why, the shadows. The pitchers, Edison's standing in the sunlight, the hitters are in the shadows. Shouldn't be too bad to start.
So the first pitch from Volquez is a ball at 5:37. You can see right behind home plate what those shadows look like in the deal that the batter has to deal with. And the pitcher's eye is completely dark, so that should give him an advantage. Swung on and missed, and the count even at 1-1. Umpires calling the balls and strikes. Angel Hernandez at first base, Ed Hickox. Second base, Chris Conroy. And the pride and joy of Joliet, Illinois, over at third base, Mark Carlson. Yeah, they got some umpires coming up, Joliet as well. 1-1 off speed, lifted to left center field, going over his Maben. And 1 out here in the first. Let's take a look at the Padres defense, brought to you by Mazda. Outfield left to right, Carlos Quentin. You saw Cameron Maben. In center, Will Venable in right. Infield, third to first, Headley, Cabrera, Amarista, Alonso. Putting down the signs tonight, John Baker, and Edinson Volquez on the hill. So 1 up, 1 down for Volquez. Here's Jordani Valdespin. Left-handed hitting Mets left fielder. Mostly used as a pinch hitter this year, Tony. This kid can hit a little bit. It looks like he's got a pretty good idea at the plate as well.
And got some power, too.
Yeah, 5 pinch hit home runs. He has 7 home runs on the year. 5 in the pinch. Volquez getting ahead on 1. Oh, good breaking ball. That's the one thing I've noticed, Tony, about Volquez. It's not like he just relies on his fastball.
No, he does not. He mixes in that breaking ball, and I think he has a great changeup.
I think all 3 of his pitches are above average.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
So quickly hit 0-2. Changeup foul.
He makes that changeup with these shadows, and boy, that's a really tough pitch to handle.
And being used to all those years in right field, Tony, it looks like, you look at the shadow of Will Venable, it doesn't look like the sun's going to really come into play because it's kind of at an angle. It's not like right in his eyes.
I'm going to go with your description there.
Breaking ball outside corner, and Volquez records his first strikeout. Valdespin goes down looking. Like the curveball.
He just locked up Valdespin, and he knew it too. As soon as that ball started to break, he knew that was going to be strike 3.
Now, Tony, your experience, pitcher in the sunlight, you are in the shadow. What do we expect?
I expect the pitchers to dominate here until they're both either in the sun or both in the shadow.
So quickly 2 outs for Volquez. And David Wright steps up to the plate, leading the team in hitting at .331. 16 home runs. He's driven in 72. In our Southland Technology Fox Tracks indicates that the first pitch up and in for a ball. 2-0 to Wright.
Again, here's where he's got the, you got a real good hitter at the plate. You're falling behind 2-0. You got the shadows. More times than not, you're going to be gearing up for a fastball. But Volquez can throw anything he wants to throw right here. His breaking ball's that good, and his changeup's that good. Tonight, our Lexus keys to the game. No ordinary day at the park. Yesterday, R.A. Dickey pitching knuckleballer. Makes it a little bit different. Today, you got a more conventional guy, and you hope that the Padres will be able to continue what they started on that road trip and stay right there. David Wright hitting .331, 5th in the NL in hitting. Well, against the Padres, he's 3 for 17, hitting a .176. So you hope Edison Volquez and this Padre team could keep him struggling against the Pods.
3-1 to Wright. Fastball line to shortstop. Cabrera squeezes it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Edison Volquez. Amarista, Venable, Headley do it for the Padres in the bottom half of the first. Baseball brought to you by AT&T, the largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Petco, where the healthy pets go. Well, a perfect 1-2-3 inning for Edison Volquez. As you take a look in from the park at the park, there's some electricity here tonight at the ballpark. It's going to be a good crowd as Bud Black is going to go after these Mets this way. Alexi is going to lead it off. Will Venable, Chase Headley, Carlos Quentin, Yonder Alonso, Maven Baker, Cabrera. And then batting ninth on the hill, we already saw Edison Volquez. So Alexi Amarista will face the right-hander Jeremy Hefner. Ball one, and the fastball in there evens the count at 1-1. Well, Jeremy Hefner making his 6th start. It's his 15th game. A lot of games in relief for the right-hander. Line drive, ground ball, base hit right up the center of the diamond for Alexi. He is aboard, improving that .267 average for Amarista.
He didn't look like he had any trouble seeing the baseball either. This is a tailing fastball. He stays right on it, takes it right back up the middle in the center field, and you love to get that leadoff hitter on.
So just like that, Hefner will work from the stretch. Amarista with 5 stolen bases. I'll bring up Will Venable. Will hitting .246, 6 home runs. He's driven in 30. Now behind the plate, Tolley has thrown out 28% of the base runners this year. Bunt goes foul down the third base line. So trying to get that runner over. Not a bad idea.
But he wants to at least give the Padres an opportunity to put a run on the board. And so Will Venable square up, try to get that bunt down the third base line.
You know, we've seen that before, Tony, where they'll show bunt, and if they bunt it foul, they'll create some movement, put it in the back of the Mets' mind, and then Will may be swinging here. Ground ball right side could be two. Murphy, Tejada to Davis with a double play. Let's take a look at the Mets defense. Jordani Valdespin at left, Andres Torres center, Mike Baxter patrolling right field. On the infield, Wright, Tejada, Murphy, and Davis. Behind the plate, Josh Tolley. And on the hill, former Padre property, Jeremy Hefner. Here's Chase Headley. Did you think it was odd batting from the right side against R.A. Dickey last
I
night for
did.
Chase?
You know what? I didn't even notice that until we saw the replay. But it makes sense.
Oh, one pitch, one hopper, Tejada. And 3 up, 3 down with the double play. A 7-pitch inning for Jeremy Hefner. To the second we go. We are scoreless. Fox Sports San Diego wants you to log on and share your thoughts during the Padres game. Get the conversation started on Facebook and on Twitter. Plus, your questions may be answered on air. Like, follow, and log on Tuesday during the game right here on Fox Sports San Diego. Well, Edson Volquez, a 1-2-3 first inning. He'll now face Ike Davis, Daniel Murphy, and Mike Baxter due up for the Mets in the top half of the second. Well, Ike Davis hitting .209, but 20 home runs on the year. He's driven in 60. 1-0 breaking ball, inside corner for a strike. Well, he was really struggling earlier in the year. The Mets said that they were not going to send him down. They wanted to keep him on the roster, and the power numbers have just been, lately, have been really, really good for Davis.
Yeah, obviously he's figured something out. Had a 3-home run game over in Arizona.
2-1.
Like you said, the power numbers are there. Not really hitting for an average, but looks like he's making a little bit better contact right now. And that's what this lineup the Mets are throwing out there, that's what they need.
Fastball missing in to go to 3-1. A good fastball count. In fact, it was his first 3-home run game of his career. Tied his personal best with 4 hits. That was that game July 28th at Arizona. And he loves to hit the homers on the road. You know, Citi Field probably leans more towards the pitchers in New York. Bell tie fastball. Called for a strike. Counts full.
And they brought the fences in.
They did in left field, yes. A little party area out there. Actually, I think it makes the whole ballpark look a little nicer, a little more quaint. having some fans out there just beyond the left field wall. Here's the payoff. Fastball laced into right field for a base hit. So Ike Davis is aboard with the first base run of the evening for the Mets.
He was right on that, 3-2.
Oh, it looks like he's out of the box, Tony.
He's right on that back line.
And that counts, right?
That does count.
He's making the most of that.
You don't see a lot of hitters do that in the league. Well, they'll take that back line and, you know, mess it up a little bit so the umpire doesn't know exactly where that back line ends.
And a nice shot of that shadow from the upper deck now, just splitting first and third right down the gut. Home plate to second base. As the first pitch from Volquez misses for a ball. Daniel Murphy, 299, 3 home runs. He's driven in 48. Ike Davis on first base, not a threat to steal. He has no stolen bags on the year. Change up in the dirt.
Even though Davis doesn't have any stolen bases, this could be a good hit and run situation. Probably not now with the count 2-0, but 2-1, 3-1. Good situation to play hit and run because Murphy's he's starting to swing the bat a whole lot better.
Yeah, over the last month or so, 19 extra base hits, hitting .371 for Murphy. Long set from Volquez. And a called strike to go 2-1. Middle infielders set up at double play depth.
Here's what the Padres did very well last night. Clayton Richard was able to get some double play balls when he needed. If Volquez can stay where he threw that last strike, he's going to get some ground balls.
Ooh, ball gets away from John Baker. And Ike Davis will move up 90 feet to second base into scoring position.
Just kind of holds on to that a little bit too long. Baker's not able to come up with that.
And they will rule that a wild pitch as Davis moves up in the scoring position. So a visit from John Baker to Volquez to go over the signs possibly with the runner on second base. As Rick Renteria has a chat with Yasmani Grandal. Rick Renteria is great to talk to. Just a wealth of knowledge on that bench.
Especially for Grandal, young player. He's going to get an opportunity to sit and watch some games here while he's on the disabled list.
Hitters count 3-1. It's a fastball, ball 4. Jerry Coleman Day, presented by Scripps Health, is Saturday, September 15th. Join your Padres in celebrating the legendary baseball and broadcasting career of our good friend Jerry Coleman. Be in your seat 30 minutes before the game, please, for a pregame ceremony before the Padres take on the Rockies. Get your tickets now at Padres.com or get on the horn, 619-795-5555. What a great way to honor the great Jerry Coleman. There's the Colonel. You can hang a star on that guy. He's the best.
Oh, he's got all kind of knowledge.
So first and second, nobody out for the Mets. Speaking of former Padres, here's Mike Baxter.
Doesn't look like they're going to bunt either. First and second, nobody out. I'd like to put some runs on the board. Guy hitting 310. Handle the bat a little bit.
Well, they're going to change that call to a pass ball. No wild pitch, so pass ball on Ike Davis going to second base. So Volquez falling behind, 1-0 to Baxter. And misses again to go 2-0. Baxter hitting .310. No home runs. He's driven in 10. The left-handed bat in there this evening against the righty Volquez. .2-0 missing.
It's one part of the game without Volquez, when he starts to struggle a little bit, the pace of the game really slows down. And he's a guy that's really hard on himself. And you know what? You just kind of have to, turn the page and go to the next pitch.
Ooh, high strike to go 3-1. Hey, we're going to have to keep an eye on that pitch because Volquez bounces back in this inning. We take a look.
Face mask high.
Yeah.
Especially 3-0. Usually you'll get that one 3-0 for some other count you might not.
There's the 3-1. That one almost in the same spot, called the ball, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Not what you want early in the game.
No,
Base hit and a couple of walks. And luckily, you got the bottom third of the lineup coming up, and Torres, Tolle, and Hefner.
So we'll see how Buddy Black plays the infield in this situation with nobody out. Probably double play depth at second and short.
So they'll give up a run to get a double play, to get a ground ball.
That'll bring up Andres Torres, hitting .238. He has 1 home run on the year and 25 runs batted in. Torres has grounded into 6 double plays this year. First pitch, curveball for a strike. And sometimes when a pitcher is struggling, they'll go to that curveball. Mike Davis on third base, Daniel Murphy on second, Mike Baxter at first. Nobody out here for the Mets in the second. Curveball again, missing, 1-1.
They're showing a lot of patience here, making Volquez throw strikes. Started Torres off with a good breaking ball for a strike and came back with one that was just out of the zone.
I mean, that just goes to show you the confidence anytime. Bases loaded, first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to the right side, but foul. Those are the ones that are frustrating, those little tappers. You know, you try to work down to the zone, you get a little tapper. Tough to turn 2 on those.
Yeah. Well, again, that's Volquez stuff. That's the kind of movement he gets.
Outfield kind of playing to go the other way a little bit for Torres. So Torres is in the hole 1 and 2. Change up. Count evens at 2-2.
Black heading to the water cooler already.
That'll make a manager kind of stroll a little bit in the dugout.
Here's awfully gray.
Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Good curveball from Edson Volquez. I think it's worth noting. Now it's time for the Sycuan Casino Daycation highlight of the game. And that's a big out.
Yeah, and that's the breaking ball he threw him on the second pitch. This ball starts out in the zone and then falls out of the zone. Torres goes right over the top of it. And he gets the first out of the inning, and now ground ball, maybe he can get completely out of it.
Second strikeout of the game for Edson Volquez. Bases still loaded. And number 8 hitter Josh Tolle, the Mets catcher. Breaking ball just missed. Well, the catching situation, one of the situations the Mets are hoping to improve upon this year and into next year as Tolle looks at the 1-0, foul down the left field line. Rob Johnson, former Padre, is on the roster for the Mets. He's getting a start every now and then, here and there.
And that seems like the one commodity in Major League Baseball that it's hard to find a really good catcher. Hard to find that guy that you can put in the middle of your lineup.
1-1 fastball misses up high. Going into this year, Josh Tolle only had 544 major league at-bats. It's not a whole lot of experience.
Well, the one thing Tolle does do is he usually puts the bat on the ball.
2-1, missing big time up and away. Now 3-1 with the bases loaded, nowhere to put him. And the pitcher, Jeremy Hefner, waits on deck. 25 pitches this inning for Volquez.
Yeah, that's a big pitch right here because Toley's looking for something in the zone. Volquez has been kind of all over the place here this inning. But the one thing he has done is thrown that breaking ball for a strike, so you just can't sit on a fastball if you're Toley.
3-1 fastball. He challenged him. 93 on the heater.
See, he was late on that fastball, and so throwing a couple of breaking balls for a strike has really put him in a good position here where he can throw him another fastball. He can throw him a changeup, throw him a breaking ball.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Yeah.
We've seen the changeup being thrown anytime, anywhere from Volquez. There's the payoff. And the fastball misses high. And a run comes across for the Mets. 1-0 New York. So everybody moves up, and that'll bring up the Mets pitcher, Jeremy Hefner.
The other thing that happens because of the command issues here this inning is that pitch count gets up, and there it is, 39, and you're only an inning and a third through the game.
Yeah, he threw 102 pitches last time out in Cincinnati in 5 innings. First pitch missing up, 1-0 to Hefner. As you see the shift of the outfield going the other way now with the Mets pitcher batting right-handed. He does have 1 home run on the year.
I would suspect they're going to make him take one here because Volquez has walked 3 guys this inning.
Well, 1-0 fastball. The fastball is just really up and out of the zone for Volquez. As Brad Boxberger takes off the jacket, and it looks like he's going to be getting loose in the Padre bullpen.
Yeah, you can only wait around so long. We talked about how well Volquez has pitched here lately. But even though he's thrown the ball well, you can't afford to just sit here and let him walk guys.
High strike. 2-1 to Hefner. We said this before, but with Volquez, that one pitch to get that release point down and find that groove. If he ever needed it, it'd be right here.
And we've seen him do this before, where he struggled and made a good pitch and got a couple of outs, got out of the inning, and was fine from that point on.
2-1 fastball, swung on and missed. 2-2.
That was just a good fastball, good located fastball on the outer third of the plate.
Well, a double play would be nice, but he needs a strikeout here. Got it. Couldn't lay off the high heat, and Edinson Volquez gets his 3rd strikeout of the night.
Straight fastball, challenged him up the ladder. Hefner knew it was not a strike.
So not out of the woods yet. Top of the order now for the Mets, and the base is still loaded with 2 outs.
You can't relax right here.
Ruben Tejada flied out to center field. His first at-bat to lead off the game.
Tejada had a couple of hits last night.
Next pitch for Volquez will be number 45 in the game here in the 2nd inning. Sinker missing, 1-0. So Murphy on 3rd, Baxter on 2nd, Toley on 1st. And if Edinson Volquez can get out of this inning with just 1 run, he'll take that.
Oh, absolutely.
Outfield playing Tejada to go the other way. And the infield back at regular depth. Fastball in there for a strike. 1-1.
Tejada was going to make Volquez throw him a strike.
Well, the strikeout's been a huge part of Edinson Volquez's game. The 1-1 missing down. Edenson's 4-0. His ERA is 2.36. 46 strikeouts. 45 and 2/3 innings over his last 7 starts. So almost a strikeout, or more than a strikeout than innings pitched. And that was a huge strikeout to Hefner, the pitcher. So 2-1, bases loaded. Two and two. Looks like they're having difficulty catching up to the fastball that's around the plate.
He said, here it is right here, and that fastball was up. Tejada was late on it, fouled it off on the first base side. So still might be a little bit of tracking issues for the hitters right now, but Tejada slowly but surely crossing the infield here.
So the crowd trying to get behind Volquez, 2 and 2. Fastball just missing down, and the count will be full, and the runners will be off and running on the pitch.
You saw John Baker behind home plate waving to the infielders, hey, we're going to go to first base here.
The 6th 3-ball count for Edson Volquez already this inning, or this game rather. A lot of deep counts from the right-hander. So here we go, 3 and 2. They'll be off. Fastball misses. And the second time this inning that the Mets have scored a run via the walk. RBI for Tejada. 2-0 Mets.
Just nothing you can do defensively about that. Mike Davis got a base hit, but Boston Murphy, Baxter, Tolle, and now Tejada had given the Mets a 2-0 lead.
So everybody moves up. Tejada at first. Tolle at second, and Mike Baxter rather at third, and that'll bring up Jordani Valdespin, his second at bat. He struck out looking his first at bat. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 1.
Nice job right there by Baker blocking that breaking ball.
51 pitches now for Edinson Volquez. I know we talked about the ball strike ratio. Not a good ball strike ratio. 28 to 23 balls to strikes. Looking for a grounder here. The 1-0. Ooh, wow. You got squeezed on that one. Good pitch.
And that's what happens when you're all over the place. This is a good breaking ball. It looks pretty good to me. It looks like it's right in the strike zone. Angel Hernandez says no. Ball's down.
Good fastball. Knee-high swung on and missed it. 94.
But see, his fastball has a little sink at the end of it. It's so good. Sometimes you just, throw it down the middle. Challenge these hitters right down the middle, because that late movement is usually going to make it difficult for hitters to square it up.
42nd pitch of the inning coming right here from Volquez. 2-1. Line drive right field. Coming in to score is Baxter. Tolle will follow. Ruben Tejada into third. And Valdespin with a 2-run double to make it 4-0 Mets here in the second.
Valdespin didn't waste any time. He got a ball he liked. His fastball's up and out over the plate. He hooks it in the right field.
And a slow stroll out to the mound by Bud Black. Put a good swing on it. So a short night for Edinson Volquez. Just couldn't find the release point. Frustrating for the veteran right-hander, as Bud Black will now go to the bullpen. Enter Brad Boxberger. 4-0 Mets. We'll be back right after this.
couldn't seem to get the release point down on his pitches, Tony, and the walks came to hurt him. And now Valdespin with a 2-run double here in the second inning to make it 4-0. So Bud Black will now hand the ball over to Brad Boxberger. You know, for Edinson, the shortest outing of the year, an inning and 2/3. You know, usually he's been a 6-inning guy, and he's gone as many. You know, it was a complete game. So just something out of the ordinary for Edinson.
Yeah, the walks really hurt him. You know, you can't walk 4 guys in an inning, and you got a ball up to Valdespin right there, and he lined it in the right field to dock in 2 more. So, and now Brad Boxberger comes into the game and have to face one of the best hitters in the National League, at David Wright. So you really need to get an out right here.
So 2 outs in the second. Runners at second and third. David Wright facing the righty Boxberger. First pitch fastball right on the outside corner for a strike. Change up, just missed. He's got a good one. He throws a breaking ball, good fastball. Change up as well. We saw right there.
I wanted that pitch right there too. Looked like they were just a little bit off, but good arm action.
Ooh, off the foot of Wright. And time now for the San Diego County Credit Union factoid of the game. Well, it's all about getting on base, Tony, huh?
Yep.
Most times on base this season. Well, David Wright leads that list, along with Matt Holliday and Andrew McCutchen. Boy, I tell you what, both everybody, every one of those hitters having a great year, but Andrew McCutchen, my goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the Pirates in contention. But the thing about that number right there, I mean, David Wright's been on base 191 times. But now against the Padres, he's 3 for 18. So this has been the one club that really has done a great job of handling him.
When you look at those numbers with runners in scoring position, as Boxberger gets right on a good fastball. The Mets score 4. We go to the bottom of the second. They lead 4-0.
Has he had with that glove?
Right.
So it was probably a little odd for him. You know, receiving a throw from the outfield and all that goes through a catcher's mind, you know, when that play's occurring, you know, he's doing with a glove that he's not totally comfortable with on that play. So whether that had anything to do with it, I don't know. But, you know, you can make the assumption that maybe it did.
And that is our Geico quote of the game. Bud Black referring to the play last night in the 7th inning, Carlos Quentin. And Tony, you did it a little homework, came up a little something.
Yeah, I totally agree with that because, you know, Carlos Quentin bearing down on Josh Tolley, you saw him try to take his other hand and grab that baseball in that big glove, and he really didn't. His hand went underneath, trying to protect himself from the contact. And you see, watch, he reaches in his glove to try to grab it, but he sees Carlos Quentin coming, and he just doesn't have a hold of that baseball, and guess what? It comes flying out of that big old glove.
Quentin grounds to David Wright, spins. 5-3 put out, one out here in the second. Yeah, when you look at that play, he's more concerned about a 220-pound man coming at him rather than a 5-ounce baseball in his glove.
Absolutely. Take a look. He tries to get in there, and he sees Quentin coming, and his hand is on top of the glove, but not on the baseball, and Carlos knocks it out and gave the Padres the go-ahead run right there and allowed Alfonso to get to third base.
So Hefner has 4 runs to work with here in the bottom of the second. Here's Yonder Alonso, 268 average, 5 home runs, 37 driven in.
If you're the Padres here, you just want to methodically try to work your way back into this. You're going to need Lockberger to put some zeros up.
Ground ball right side. Ike Davis will take it himself. 2 out here in the Padres second. One big factor, we got a good crowd here tonight at Petco Park. The Padre Bats can awaken this crowd and get the crowd behind them. We've seen this team recently come from behind. Down 6-0 in Cincinnati a couple of times, and they fought back. Oh, the dancing Fryer out in right field, getting jiggy with it.
Nice hat.
He's trying to reel something in. Here's Cameron Maben with 2 outs. Cameron hitting .213, 6 home runs, driven in 31 on the year. Missing for a ball. Mentioned earlier that Hefner was once Padre property. He was selected by the Pods in the 10th round in 2007 first-year player draft. Pittsburgh Pirates claimed him off waivers in November of 2011. And then these Mets claimed him off waivers that same year in December. So he's finding himself pitching in the big leagues. 3-1 to Maben. Weird zone early on, Tony?
Yeah, I think so. 3-1. Totally framed it nice, but I thought it was low. Maben thought it was low. Angel Hernandez didn't. Called it a strike.
So here's the 3-2. Popped up. Left field line. Valdespin, dirty and all, makes the catch for the 3rd out. Nothing going for the Padres in the second. Mets lead 4-0. Look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Social sparkler out at the park at the park. Big league ball game. Doesn't get much better. So for the Mets here in the top of the third as they lead 4-0. Big inning last half, scoring those 4 runs. Be Ike Davis, Daniel Murphy, and Mike Baxter. Ike Davis started off that second inning with a single to right, ended up scoring a run. So, Tony, we talked about Brad Boxberger in the game, and you saw him as a college pitcher.
Yeah, he's a starting pitcher at USC. And he shut us down for like 4 or 5. It was a Tuesday night game. He pitched very well against us.
What's the one thing that you remember from that? Anything stick
out?
His
changeup. That's yeah. And you were talking about it earlier. That's what.
There it is. There
stuck out for me. And it looks like the arm angle has changed a little bit. Where then he was more straight over the top.
He was originally drafted by the Kansas City Royals. He elected to go to USC, fight on. But then 2009 signed by the Reds as a first rounder. 1-1 to Davis. Fastball right on the outside corner for a strike. He's got some deception in his delivery as well. A little giddy up on that fastball.
I think it's great that all 4 of these guys that Padres got in that trade are in the big leagues.
Change up lifted to right field. Will Venable is there for out number 1. Time now for our AT&T trivia question. Well, here it is. David Wright has 199 career home runs as a Met. Can you name the 2 other players with over 200 home runs with these Mets? That's a good one. First pitch fastball on the outside corner to Daniel Murphy. 0-1. A good opportunity here for Boxberger to maybe get a couple innings.
Just going to say that.
There's that Cambio we're talking about. Quickly ahead, 0-2.
David Wright sitting on the bench. There's that changeup. That was more in the middle of the plate, but the deception.
And he comes back with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2 to Murphy. Change up to go to 2-2. You know, when you look at Brad Boxberger in his minor league days with the Reds, his first professional year, he started 13 games. And then after that, all out of the bullpen. So they probably feel that, shorter outings can be more effective out of the bullpen.
And coming into the game here in the second inning, it's going to be interesting to see how long Buddy goes with him.
Can't catch up to the fastball at 91. Yeah, the bullpen last night, Gregerson 2/3 of an inning. Houston Street, he got 4 outs. Came in the 8th. And then sealed the deal in the 9th for his 18th save. So that'll make a nice card. Kid going home with a souvenir. There's another one. Two to Murphy. Changeup. Right center field for a base hit. Sounded like he was kind of off the bat a little bit.
I think he cracked his bat on that one. But he stayed back on it nice. He saw a few of them that at bat. And this one, he's still a little bit out in front of it, but he stayed back on it long enough. Hear that crack bat. The ball goes in the right center field for a base hit.
Okay, I don't mean this to be an unfair question and get you off guard, Tony, but over your career, how many bats do you think you cracked? Because I remember
I cracked a few.
I remember one year, and correct me if I'm wrong, first pitch in there for a strike. You went a whole year without cracking a bat?
No, I cracked a bat, but I had a bat that I had for a whole year that I didn't break. But
really?
I used it the majority of the year, but not against certain left-handers. And, I didn't want to crack it.
You wanted to save that bat.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, I didn't crack a whole lot of bats because I used such a small bat that even when I hit balls off the end of the bat, they somehow seem to survive.
Well, Mike Baxter now at the plate with the runner at first, and Mark Sweeney joins us down by the dugout. Marco, how many bats would you say you cracked over the course of your career?
Well, with Tony having one that lasts the whole season, I struggled having it last in one at bat. But no, I did crack a lot of bats, and you look down at the barrel of the bat, and that tells the whole story. I had a lot of marks on my barrel. Tony, to his credit, he understood how to square a ball up, and that's the reason why he's in the Hall of Fame.
1-1 to Baxter. And Boxberger missing to go 2-1. Well, Daniel Murphy has 7 stolen bases on the year. And the thing about Tony Gwynn, Mark Sweeney, is Tony always got the great wood, didn't he?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we'd always try to sneak over and see if we could get one of those. But I was always a guy that tried to go into Wally Joyner's stash because he got some good bats too, and that was the model that I used, that C243 model.
And Tony, what model did you use?
V267.
Remember that one year?
That big barrel, thinner handle.
That one year you had the 9 grains of paint?
That's correct.
Meaning that there were 9 grains.
Yeah, it was a good piece of lumber.
2-2 to Baxter. Down low, and the count runs full.
The thing about bats, though, in today's bats, you see they're on those bats that were in the bat racks. They got a date on them when they were made, when they were, how much they weigh. They got to be approved now by Major League Baseball. Back in our day, you could, there was only a couple of bat companies to even choose from.
Murphy goes, and it's fouled out of play. So the bats actually have a born-on date, huh?
Yeah, they do now. I mean, you see that date, give you the size and and how many ounces it weighs, and that's the date it was made, and there's so many different bat companies now that God, it's hard to keep track of. How many different companies there are to get lumber from.
So they'll do it again. Runner goes, ball 4, and it's first and second with 1 out here in the Mets' third. Hey, Padre fans, you hit the road? Well, take Fox Sports San Diego's coverage of the Padres with you this season. Subscribe to MLB.TV today to see every Padres out-of-market game live, online, and on your favorite devices and in HD quality. Visit Padres.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. So the Mets threatening here in the third. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Brad Boxberger needs a ground ball. Here's Andres Torres. And misses down and in. 1-0.
5 walks by Padres pitching tonight. Okay, has had 4 in that second inning, and now Boxberger walks his first guy after a base hit.
Yeah, Edson Volquez started this ball game a perfect 1-2-3 first. And then in that second inning, only 2 hits by the New York Mets, and it was the walks that came to haunt Edson and the Padres. They scored 4 in that second, and that's where we stand. So 1-0 to Torres. Fouled at the plate. And you know what? I like to see Edinson on the bench.
Yeah, I do too.
Sticking with the team, good team guy.
And it's hard because he knows as he's sitting there that he's got to wait 5 more days before he gets a chance to kind of redeem himself from this last start.
That's the tough thing.
And I was going to say, that's probably the hardest part. I mean, I don't know.
Changeup swung on and missed.
I don't know what it's like to be in that position, but I can imagine that those 5 days are going to take forever before he gets a chance to get back out there on that mound.
Now, you as a hitter, you had to wait another inning or so, which was fine with you.
Yep.
And Mark Sweeney being a pinch hitter. Here's the 1-2. Changeup got him. Torres goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. And here's Josh Tolley.
Good changeup here. A little run action on it. Torres not able to get to it.
Second strikeout for Boxberger. And Mark Sweeney, my question was, as a pinch hitter, it's got to be frustrating when, you have an at-bat you're not particularly keen to, and then you have to wait for a long time.
It is, Mark. The point is, too, being a good teammate, being out there, and Edison Volquez being on the bench right now goes such a long way, because if you peek over your shoulder as another teammate and you see him still there, and he went through a tough night, he's still there for his teammates, goes a long way, and I think it shows what type of person he is and type of teammate.
Yep. Yeah, that's a great example. You're absolutely right. So Boxberger working ahead of Josh Tolle, 0-1, runners at first and second for the Mets. Outfield playing to go the other way, change up in the dirt.
Back in our day, I remember, a guy like Kevin Brown would, if he had a bad outing like that, he would go upstairs first and tear up the clubhouse, then come back.
They needed TV in the clubhouse.
It was reconstruction
time.
Yeah,
he would go in and pull bathroom stalls apart and pull down the Padres sign in front of our locker room at Qualcomm. But then he'd come back out and sit on the bench with the rest of the guys.
Kind of air it out, right?
Get that anger out.
Get it out of the system.
He did, Tony. Didn't he renovate the Chicago Cubs?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the urinals changed during the game. It was impressive.
Yeah, and they put a bill in his locker before the next day.
1-2 to Tolle. Changeup lifted to left center field. Cameron Maben trots over there, hop, skip, and a jump for the out, and the Mets leave 2 stranded. 2.5 here at Petco. Mets lead 4-0.
I'm doing great. How about you?
I can't complain. It's Saturday afternoon, the baseball game. You guys just wrapped up Fan Fest this afternoon. How'd that go?
It went great. We had over 10,000 fans there today. There was a lot of excitement in the stands out there, and the players are really getting excited about getting the season started. Obviously,
there's got to be a lot of excitement in the building too, getting ready for the season kickoff.
Oh, there is. It was disappointing last year, and you just can't wait to get back. Into the season, this new season. So everybody's excited, no doubt about it.
Football is your business, but you're here at the baseball game.
I love baseball, and sitting right here, thanks to John Moores. I want to thank you, John, for giving me your seats here. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. They need to get back that second inning. They gave up 4 runs, so we'll be here rooting them on.
Hopefully we won't be here long rooting them on.
They'll have a good inning here coming up shortly. So.
Dean, I appreciate the time, man.
Thanks.
And as always, good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Fellas, back to you.
Thank you very much, C.S. Keys, and thanks to Dean Spanos taking in a big league ball game, rooting for the hometown Padres, and we wish his Chargers well in this upcoming season, which is right around the corner, Tony.
Right around the corner.
So the Padres, one quick out here in the bottom of the third. John Baker rolls to the right side. Ike Davis takes it himself. Here's Everett Cabrera. Padres only 1 hit so far in this game. It was a leadoff single by Alexi Amarista. He was forced at second base on a double play. And that's where we stand. And Hefner evens the count at 1-1.
Jeremy Hefner's got a 4-run lead here, so he can afford to mix his pitches up.
Good movement on the fastball at 90. You know, we touched upon some of the pitches from Hefner. That fastball, he's going to probably top out at 91, 92. A slider, a curve, and a changeup. Fisted over the mound. Tejada on the run, and Cabrera is just much too quick. Infield single for Everett Cabrera.
He did all he could. He threw him a two-seam fastball, and this just gets all in Cabrera's kitchen, but you see him running down the line. He knew he had a chance to get a base hit right there. Tejada did all he could do with Cabrera's speed, enabled him to get the base hit.
So Cabrera is aboard with one out. Bunted down the first base line, foul.
In last night's game, Cabrera got picked off.
Yeah, that was in the third inning.
We're having a discussion about whether that was a caught stealing or not.
Right. In fact, it was not a caught stealing. He was picked off. Everett Cabrera did not attempt to try to take second base. He tried to get back on the pickoff move. And our own Chiron Bob Wiersdorfer did a little homework. He was up till 4:30 in the morning last night combing the rule books. 10.07H states the official score shall charge a runner as this bunt is successfully put to the right side by Boxberger. The official score should charge a runner as caught stealing if such runner is put out or would have been put out by errorless play when such runner is picked off a base and tries to advance. Any move toward the next base shall be considered an attempt to advance. He did not make that attempt to advance, so that now the streak is still intact.
Correct.
19 for 19 for Everett Cabrera.
Well, in layman's terms, what you're saying is he did not attempt to go to second base. He was diving back to first base. That does not count as a stolen base attempt.
So runner in scoring position, base hit right field. Amarista singles home a run, and the Padres are on the board. RBI number 23 for Alexei.
Like we talked about, you just got to methodically work your way back into the game. Another execution situation here, man on second, 2 outs. Amarista gets a fastball. Ground ball base hit in the right field, so the sacrifice by Boxberger works. Cabrera comes around and scores.
So once again, the little things that the Padres are doing, we talked about it in the pregame show, and it comes to play here in the Padres' third. They are on the board, 4-1 Mets.
Infield hit, sacrifice bunt, 2-out base hit, and they get their run.
Here's Will Venable, ground into a double play his first time up. And Hefner ahead 0-1. We need to put a smile on Ed Volquez's face. Get him off the hook. Score some runs, tie this one up.
Trust me, you score some runs, you'll see. And he's already starting to smile a little bit. But get him off the hook, he'll be smiling a lot more.
Fastball missing, a 1-1 to Venable.
Mark and Tony, it's so important offensively for the Padres to stay with their plan, look for that fastball, and not go in that take mode. Hefner's going to want to throw strikes. You still have to stay in that mode of hitting off the fastball.
That's exactly right.
Ground ball sharply hit to Ike Davis. He will step on first base, and that retires the side. Padres get a run after 3 complete here at Petco. Mets lead 4-1. lead the Padres by a score of 4-1. It's time to answer our AT&T trivia question. The question was, David Wright currently has 199 home runs as a Met. Can you name the two other players that had over 200 home runs as a Met? Darryl Strawberry with 252 and Mike Piazza with 220. Two intimidating forces stepping up to the plate, I might add.
Well, I'd have thought Strawberry was on that list. I didn't think Piazza was.
And soon David Wright will join that class, and hopefully it's not this series.
This guy right here.
Oh, you talk about bat speed.
In his heyday.
How about when Straw would go into the trot like that at Shea, and the crowd would just go absolutely bananas?
I hated it. And then a ball was flying over my head in right field.
And I was probably on the mound. Anyway, Hefner goes down. Boxberger makes short work of the Met pitcher for 1 out here in the 4th inning.
This is what you need. You need Brad to go out there and put some zeros up, give your offense a chance to get you back in it.
3rd strikeout for Boxberger, and now it's the top of the order. Ruben Tejada, the Panamanian-born shortstop, is 0 for 1. Flew out to center in the 1st and walked, which forced in a run in the 2nd inning. Ball 1 from Boxberger. So a little cut fastball in there for a strike.
You know, Mark, we talking to the pitching coach, Darren Balsey, for the Padres. He said Brad Boxberger, he'd like to see him get more aggressive in the strike zone. This is a good situation for him to be aggressive as well, throwing those strikes and getting ahead of the hitters.
Good location of the fastball there to work ahead 1-2. Eddie Rodriguez in the bullpen, or in the dugout rather, looking over a little scouting report. Here's the 1-2. Challenged him with a fastball, fouled it back.
I'm sure the pitcher will be watching closely here. He said when Boxberger's longest outing was an inning and 2/3.
Yep.
And he's sitting on that right now. And you can see.
Ground ball to 3rd, backhanded by Headley. 2 gone. Corey Burns is warming up in the Padre bullpen. Corey was just recently brought up. As you mentioned, Tony made a good point. Since Boxberger, his longest outing, inning and 2/3. The young right-hander starts to heat up. Kind of anxious to see Corey pitch if, in fact, he gets into a game. Throws a lot of changeups.
Yeah, today's going to be a day where he'll get a chance to work some innings.
Here's Jordani Valdespin. Struck out looking in the 1st, doubled in 2 in the 2nd. As Jimmy Jones watches on, a nice changeup from Boxberger.
Boxberger's done a nice job of mixing in that changeup, along with a fastball and cutter.
Changeup again, misses. And to make room on the roster for Corey Burns, remember, Kip Wells was designated for assignment. So Corey Burns now working out of the bullpen. Changeup grounded right side. A 1-2-3 inning for Brad Boxberger. 3.5 at Petco. The Mets lead 4-1. Look at our game summary. It was a short outing, inning and 2/3 for Edson Volquez. Josh Choley walked in the second to force on a run. Ruben Tejada also walked. And then Jordani Valdespin, a 2-run double to put the Mets on the board. They scored 4 in the second inning, and then the Padres answered back with a solo run in the bottom of the third. That's where we stand, 4-1 Mets. Chase Headley takes a breaking ball to the right side. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Hefner having a lead to work with. You saw him 2 quick, slow breaking balls. Chase Headley not really going to challenge in the strike zone with the fastball. He's in a position here where he can mix it up.
Here's Carlos Quentin 0 for 1. He grounded to third in the second inning. Looked like a little slider. Broken bat to short. 2 quick outs here for Hefner. Well, the NFL is back, and Fox's preseason coverage begins on Thursday, August 16th, as the Bengals of Cincinnati take on Matt Ryan and the Falcons of Atlanta. Then on Friday, August 17th, Matt Stafford and the Lions head to Baltimore to square up against Ray Lewis and the Ravens. Coverage of both games begins at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Fox. Whole lot of head cracking going on down there. Are you ready for football, team?
Not yet.
No?
No. Because I really think that this year is really going to be interesting here with Major League Baseball. With the extra wild card game.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see that already. We saw the trade deadline, which teams were making moves, which teams were selling, which teams were buying. I think as they come down the stretch, obviously football has kind of taken over this country, but I still think the baseball part is going to be really interesting this year. So.
Well, here's Yonder Alonso now with 2 outs in the fourth. Yonder grounded to first base in the second inning. And the count runs full, 3-2. Cameron Maven waits on deck. Outfield playing straight away for Yonder. Change-up grounded right side. And a 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Hefner. 4 full downtown. The Mets lead the Padres 4-1. Padres baseball brought to you by Sequan Casino. Sequan's delicious all-you-can-eat surf and turf buffet with prime rib, crab legs, and over 100 selections is only $20.95. And by your San Diego County Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus automobile today. For more information, visit Lexus.com. We go to the top of the fifth at Petco. Good crowd on hand, not only in Petco Park, but the park at the park. Bring your towel. Yeah, hi, folks. Glad to see you're enjoying a big league ball game. Mets lead 4-1, and a new pitcher Right-hander Corey Burns. We talked about him a little bit ago. We talked about how he loves to throw the changeup. Great numbers this year at Tucson, Tony. And what do you know? He starts off David Wright with a changeup.
Burns, a little different kind of delivery, kind of turns his back towards the hitter. Fastball, changeup, slider.
You know, he could be facing some rookie that's just been called up to the big leagues, but Corey Burns is facing David Wright, 5-time All-Star.
Come out to shoot, face somebody. So one thing about facing major league hitters, even though your delivery's a little bit different, guys haven't seen you before.
So for Corey Burns, his major league debut facing David Wright, 3-1. And misses for ball 4.
See him turn his back. Turns his back to the hitter.
You know what I saw a little bit there? The way he brought his turned and then brought his hands down. Little Roger Clemens. The way the Rocket used to kind of turn his back a little bit, kind of sit back on that back leg a little bit.
Well, you definitely saw that. He turns his back, but really tell he's got strong legs. Facing David Wright there, he didn't give him really much to hit.
Well, Corey Burns was acquired from Cleveland. Remember Aaron Cunningham, the outfielder? That was back in December of 2011. First pitch missing. To Ike Davis, ball 1. Davis 1 for 2. He singled in the second, flied out to right in the third. Change up. He held up, and the count now in his favor, 2-0. Change up. Slow roller to Cabrera. He'll go to first, and they get Davis. David Wright will move up 90 feet into scoring position. Let's go down to CS Keys. More on Corey Burns. CS?
Hey, guys, I met Corey yesterday, right after he signed his contract. He just came out of the office. He signed his contract. In fact, his jersey wasn't even done yet. They were in the back getting it done, but he was saying how excited he was to make his major league debut sometime in the series, and he's doing it right now. He needs to settle down a little bit, of course, to make it a memorable debut. But he said when he got the phone call, he thought it was his friends joking with him when he was going to be called up to the major leagues, but obviously it's reality. He's here now.
Yep, here he is.
He will now face Daniel Murphy, another squibber. And we might see a lot of those guys with that changeup that Corey Burns throws.
Well, there's no question Corey Burns has the advantage right here because these Met hitters hadn't seen him before.
You know who else he kind of reminds me of, Tony, is a guy I know you definitely faced, but he was a closer. Doug Jones. Remember Doug Jones? A lot of changeups from the right-hander Doug Jones.
Doug Jones was more of a three-quarter guy. Sidearm guy.
Here's a floater. It's right on the outside corner for a strike. Quickly ahead 0-2.
Almost looks like he turns that over. He didn't.
Almost like a screwball.
Not like your typical circle change, but one that you kind of turn your hand over a little bit.
In the dirt by design, being ahead 0-2, now 1-2. Well, he signed as a pro back in 2009 with Cleveland. Corey Burns did. More strikeouts than innings pitched in his minor league career going into this year. 188 strikeouts in 147 innings in the minors. Missing upstairs, 2-2.
Guys down here near the dugout, it almost looks like a palm ball action that he has. You know, you can call it whatever you want. Still got to have arm speed. You got to be able to throw it for strikes and also get out of the strike zone for some of these hitters that really are looking for that fastball.
Long look at Wright at second. Ground ball through the hole left side. David Wright will get the stop sign. Daniel Murphy singles. And the Mets have runners at first and third with one out.
Nice bit of hitting right there by Murphy. He didn't try to do too much with it. Saw the hole between short and third, just went with it.
You know, the scouting report, it doesn't take long for it to get around, even as a rookie like Corey Burns. Tim Tuffle, former Met, throws up the stop sign, third base coach for the New York Mets. So runners at the corners, one out for Mike Baxter. Change up missing. Mark Sweeney, who was the change-up artist that gave you fits? Anybody?
Yeah, a guy named Trevor Hoffman.
I knew that was I knew that was going to be your answer.
Could you tell that was a tough answer for me?
Okay, other than Trevor Hoffman, does anybody come to mind?
Yeah, Trevor Hoffman. You know, honestly, I think that's the toughest pitch for me because if you have that arm action and you're sitting on the fastball, which I tried to do, it's a very difficult pitch to hit.
Yeah, especially when you're pinch hitting, not in the everyday lineup. Pinch hitting, to have to face a guy who's got a really good changeup, well, that's almost impossible.
So 3-0 to Mike Baxter. There's a fastball missing. Hey, bring the family out to Petco Park for Nickelodeon Play Ball Day featuring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's going to be on Saturday, August 18th. Get to the park early and meet the Ninja Turtles starting at 3 o'clock before your Padres take on those Giants. First pitch is at 5:35. Get your tickets now at Padres.com or get on the horn. Call 619-795-5555. Howdy, Tex. Sweet looking lid. So Darren Ballsy out to have a chat with Corey Burns. 17 pitches for the rookie right-hander making his major league debut tonight.
Let's touch on this a little bit. You know the nerves are working. First major league appearance. Facing the middle part of their lineup.
So here's Andres Torres with the bases loaded and one out. First pitch changeup in their first strike. And the biggest compliment you give a player or a coach after a visit is firing a strike. And he does just that. Torres 0 for 2 tonight. He's gone down swinging twice. Quickly ahead 0-2.
You know, Mark, I wanted to ask you too. You look at that turn from the windup, and then he goes stretch. He does the slide step. He really doesn't have a big turn with the upper body. Just an adjustment that you have to make. Very difficult to make, I'm sure, from a pitcher standpoint.
Yeah, a lot of practice in the bullpen, obviously, simulating a situation just like this. If he's quick on the bottom half, got to be quick on the top half. There's another abbreviated stuff. And uno, dos, adios. For the third time, Andres Torres goes down swinging on the Corey Burns changeup.
That last one had good action on it. You see little slide steps. That ball was like he had his middle finger over the top of that ball.
Yeah, that was a good look at that.
That wasn't a circle change. That was more of a palm ball kind of grip. Mark, I think you hit it right on the head. That's what it looks like on a replay, like a palm ball.
Mark Sweeney down there with those eagle eyes picking up the palm ball.
No, it just looks like it. And you made a point too, Tony, seeing that hand come over the baseball.
Yeah. And
you can see it. He just releases it this way over, and it looks like a palm ball. It just has that late action.
Here's Josh Tolley now with 2 outs. Bases still loaded. 1-1 to Tolley. Hey, Tolley, don't forget the cannoli. Love cannolis. Since New York's in town, Little Italy, go down and get a little dessert.
Okay.
I think I remember you having a cannoli in New York.
Oh, you remember crushing that? Had no chance.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. Your fingertips almost were bleeding after you were done.
1-1 changeup lifted to center field. Cameron Maben going back. He's got a beat on it, and he catches that fly ball for the final out, leaving the bases loaded. Welcome to the big leagues, Corey Burns. Mets lead 4-1. time now for the Home Depot doing more on defense. Cameron Maben backpedaling a perfect somersault. And the Ukrainian judge gives him a perfect 16, if that's the scoring scale.
Well, young kids at home, that's the one thing you don't want to do as an outfielder is backpedal. Because what he did at the end, that's what could happen. You kind of trip, you go backwards, you hit your head, he hit his head on the outfield grass. Luckily, he's okay, but as an outfielder, you never want to backpedal.
Yeah, especially with the bases loaded.
2 outs and you're trying to get out of a jam, absolutely.
So to the bottom of the 5th we go, and Cameron Maben will lead off after that play, and first pitch is swung on and missed. Hefner has only surrendered 3 hits, 1 run. That was back in the 3rd inning. That was an RBI single by Alexi Amarista, scoring Everett Cabrera. Popped him up. Baxter's there for the out.
Really hasn't challenged the strike zone with fastballs with this lead. He's doing a lot of off-speed stuff, breaking balls and changeups. Pitch count doing very well. Only 42 pitches here. 1 out in the 5th.
So that'll bring up John Baker. John grounded out to the first baseman Ike Davis in the 3rd inning, leading off. First pitch, hacking, 0-1. A foul ball will bring a smile to anybody's face.
Absolutely.
Just missed with a fastball in. 1-1. Change up. Grounded to the right side, and 2 quick outs for Hefner here in the 5th inning. And Mark Sweeney down by the dugout. Do you see any sort of type of pattern or picking anything up on Hefner?
Yeah, it just looks like what Tony said. He's just throwing his off-speed pitches, and that changeup, he must have good arm action on it because you get some weak swings and those weak ground balls to second base, especially from the left-handers.
Yeah, John Baker, Tony, was way out in front of that changeup.
And now again, he got to give Hefner a lot of credit. He's showing the fastball early in the count and then getting guys out with the off-speed. That's an example. Throwing that fastball in, making them aware of it, hoping that they'll look for it, and he's getting them out with the breaking ball and the changeup.
Everett Cabrera now with 2 outs here in the 5th. Yes, he did. On the changeup, and the count evens at 1 apiece. Everett singled in the 3rd, scored a run. That's the only run for the Padres this evening. Fastball line down the right field line. Extra bases for Cabrera. Definitely 2, and he'll put on the brakes for the 2-out double.
He's hitting there by Cabrera. He got a fastball that he could handle.
13th double for Everett Cabrera.
He got the barrel to that nice one. See where Tolley's setting up in. This 2-seamer didn't really do very much. And he is right on that. Finds it into the corner. Sorry, no, Padres. Only run scored on a 2-out knock. Hopefully they can get another.
So here's Corey Burns making his major league debut on the mound and his first major league at bat. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1.
Guys, we talked about borrowing bats earlier in the game. Corey Burns really didn't have an understanding of what bat he was going to use. You saw Yasmani Grandal run in and grab a bat for him.
It's a good bat to use.
I always say it's not the arrow, it's the Indian. You have the sweetest bat in the world, but if you don't know what to do with it.
That's a good way to put it. Yasmani Grandal currently on the DL, just itching to get back with that strained oblique. Here's the 2-1 to Burns. 2-2.
Good swing right there. coming from the minor leagues, I'm sure he didn't have a whole lot of at-bats.
A little late, a little tardy.
Look out, Mark.
Mark Sweeney, look out.
I'm looking out, guys.
But Danita's down there. She'll protect you. Does she have a glove down there?
No, she used that for the instructionals.
So 2-2, 2 outs, run around second base being Everett Cabrera. Got it. Well, the Padres leave a runner stranded, a double by Everett Cabrera. 4-1 Mets. Phillies catcher Eric Kratz going out of Citizens Bank Ballpark. Phillies shut out the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks won 4 in a row. Kratz with the solo shot, helping the Phils, winning 3-0. As we take a look at the standings, well, those Diamondbacks only find themselves 2.5 out. Giants, Dodgers.
That's what I mean. It's going to be an interesting race coming down the stretch here. Everybody counted Arizona out of it. They thought it was going to be Giants and Dodgers, and worked themselves right back into it. Of course, the Padres will have a say in who wins the West, because they've got lots of games against all of them.
Here's Mets pitcher Jeremy Hefner. His third at-bat of the evening. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Finds himself behind 1-2 to Corey Burns. Second strikeout for Burns. Third for Hefner swinging. Hey, watch your Padres battle those San Francisco Giants Friday, August 17th. First pitch is at 7:05. Get there early for a pregame party in the Park at the Park and stay for a spectacular postgame fireworks show. Get your tickets now at Padres.com or get on the horn. Call 619-795-5555. Can't pass up the fireworks after a big league ball game. A lot of time being taken after Hefner struck out. Ruben Tejada finding his way. I guess he couldn't get the donut off his bat. And I think he eventually had to switch out Shillelagh's. Or did he get the donut off the bat?
Probably had to go to some place where there was some concrete so he could get that thing off of there. A lot of times it used to happen to tar hitters all the time. The donut couldn't tap it off on deck circle or on the dirt. You had to go where there was some concrete to get it off.
Did you prefer the donut on the bat or the weighted bat? What did you use?
I like the donut.
Yeah, because I know a lot of guys swing that that specifically weighted bat. Well, here's Tejada. He's having difficulty getting that donut, and he says, "You know what? I need a new stick." So they just gave him one from the back in one
Of
try.
course. Hey, you want it back? Oh, yeah, here it is.
Oh, so they switched it out again. So Tejada 0 for 2 with a walk.
It's embarrassing when you can't get that thing off and it's your turn to hit.
And the 0-2 from Burns is a changeup, taken for a ball. Well, Corey Burns, he's a Wildcat with the University of Arizona.
Some dirt got into John Baker's eyes on that ball in the dirt. Get some eye wash in there.
Oh, that hurts.
Says he's okay.
All part of being a catcher. So the count at 1-2, 1 out to Ruben Tejada. There's a fastball at 89, kind of sneaky fast at 89 after all those changeups.
That one he kind of overthrew a little bit.
Changeup, line drive left field. Tejada is aboard with his first hit of the night. Ball gets away, but no big deal. Yonder Alonso was right there at first base.
Tejada right on it. And that runs his hitting streak to 10 straight games. That's a career, ties a career high.
So the one out here is Jordani Valdespin. 2-run double in the second. He is 1 for 3. Fast strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Tejada with 1 stolen base on the year. Short lead over at first base. Shows bunt. And more times we see, Tony, that back foot out of the batter's box, and I'm surprised more umpires don't call it.
We talked about that in instructional today, is that a lot of hitters, especially left-hand hitters who are trying to go down the third base line, they'll take their back foot and get awfully close to the plate.
Chop to Alonso, and he thought about going to second, but he gets the sure out at first. 2 gone here in the Mets 6th.
I think that's a good decision there by Alonso. Might have had a shot at Tejada, but he took the sure out.
I'm wondering what kind of throwing lane he would have had going down to second base on the throw.
Yeah, because where he is right there, you see he looks, and it would have been a tough throw to get it to Cabrera, so he takes the sure out. Now they're not even going to let David Wright swing the bat here.
So it'll be 4 wide ones to David Wright as first base is open. So it'll be Corey Burns. And will Bud Black make a move because there is action in the bullpen? That is Alex Hinshaw, as left-handed hitter Ike Davis waits on deck. Former San Diego State Aztec.
I would think he's going to put right on to make a change.
So after the intentional pass, John Baker will have a chat, and Bud Black out of the dugout, and he's going to make the change. So lefty on lefty here. It'll be Alex Hinshaw versus Ike Davis. The Mets lead by a score of 4-1. We'll be back right after this. Fox Sports San Diego, catch a new episode of Padres POV. Join Kerry Chow as he gets you up close and personal with the Padres, both on and off the field. Padres POV, Friday at 3 p.m. on Fox Sports San Diego, presented by Sequan Casino. Kerry always doing a fine job with that show. As the fans out at Park in the Park, now seeing left-hander Alex Hinshaw to come in and face Ike Davis with runners at first and second. Good opponent's batting average at 202. Sometimes Alex can get a little erratic.
Yeah. And that's the, you're coming in here, you're facing a left-hand hitter. This is a situation where you want to get an out, you want to get this guy out.
Tony, would it be fair to say that's kind of maybe an uncomfortable at-bat against Alex Hinshaw because sometimes it could be a little erratic?
Yeah. Alex throws hard enough where, you got to, in the back of your mind, you got to think about that. You got to, if I was hitting against him, you would want to make him throw strikes, but he's got a real good breaking ball, too, to go with that live fastball.
So 2 outs here in the 6th. The runners at first and second. Ike Davis hitting only 176 this year off of left-handed pitching. And lefties only hitting 150 off of Alex.
The next 4 hitters are all left-handed, so
first pitch breaking ball up, ball 1. Ike Davis singled his first at-bat to lead off the second inning. He scored. That's the inning that the Mets scored 4 runs. And that's all the scoring for the Mets this afternoon. Fly ball right field. Out in front of it, Will Venable squeezes it for the out, and the Mets leave 2 stranded. Nice job by Alex Hinshaw. Mets lead 4-1. Earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And for the Padres, it was in the 3rd inning. RBI single by Alexi Amarista, scoring Everett Cabrera. That is the lone run the Padres have scored tonight. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Mets 4, Padres 1. And leading it off is Alexi Amarista. 2 for 2 with an RBI. Padres need some base runners against Hefner. 3rd time around for these Padres as he takes the ball.
This will be the time around for the Padres here against Hefner to see if they figured out a way to get something going. And that's, you got a hanging breaking ball right there, and he hanged it in the center field for his 3rd hit today.
Looked like good recognition right there, Tony.
Absolutely.
Recognizing the hanging.
He saw that ball. Yep. He paused for a second and let that ball get into the strike zone, and boy, he's right on it. He's right up the middle.
So Alexi 3 for 3 on the night. Well, Hefner really has that ground ball working tonight. Before Amarista single, as Venable takes the ball. 12 ground outs for Hefner, including a double play, 2 flyouts and 1 strikeout. So he's got that biting action, working the grounder nicely.
And the majority of those ground balls have been on the changeup. That guy's out in front. There it is right there.
Good job by Will Venable laying off that pitch to go 2-0. And we've got action in the Mets bullpen. Josh Edgin, the left-hander, getting ready. Ball hooked down the right field line, foul.
As I tell you, Terry Collins, what his thinking is, Hefner's rolling along, he's giving up 1 run. He's only thrown 59 pitches. Really hasn't been in trouble yet. Edgin's up in the bullpen. You see a changeup right there, and Venable out in front of it.
So 2-1 to Will. Three and 1.
I like Will right there. Chase that fastball tailing away. Action pitch here, 3-1.
There goes Amarista. Foul out of play on the changeup.
Got that one up too.
And after the foul ball, you got to dig into that shaved ice, right?
Trying to get it in there. Get it in that fluid.
Full count. Amarista goes. Popped him up. Shallow center field. Torres coming in. He'll take charge. Amarista has to scamper back. 1 out here in the Padres' 6th. Well, it's got to be so frustrating, Tony, as a hitter, when you know that a pitcher throws a lot of changeups. Still, it's tough to stay back.
Yeah, it is. And what it also does is it makes your fastball a little bit better when you're throwing so many changeups, because that was a 3-2 fastball, and it was in, and Will was a little bit late on it.
You know, another thing I noticed about Hefner regarding the fastball and changeup, he's got that delivery where it's nice and smooth and easy, so it kind of lulls you to sleep a little bit, and then that fastball jumps up on you. First pitch taken for a ball to Chase Headley. That was a changeup.
And that arm action on that changeup right there, you know, for the hitters, it looks like it's going to be a fastball. So 3rd time through the lineup, I figured they would get a better look at it again.
Another changeup at 85.
You can do that when you got a lead. You don't have to come in there with a fastball. Padre hitters are going to have to recognize that. Amarista did. He got a breaking ball, lined it into center field. Another 2-0 changeup right there.
That's 3 in a row, correct?
That's 3 in a row. And that good. Gives you good arm action on it. To the hitter, he's ahead in the count, 2-0. And really what Hefner's doing is he's using the aggressiveness of the hitters to get themselves out.
Pitching coach Dan Warthen has a close eye on his right-hander. Dan Warthen, former Padre pitching coach back in the day.
They ran 3-1 with Venable hitting. And now it's 3-1 on Headley. You see Dan Warthen.
Here goes the runner, and Headley pops it up down the left field line. It's going to find the seats.
Again, 3-1, not giving in, throwing him a changeup.
Dave Roberts in the ear of Alexi Amarista just to make sure he knows what's going on. So we'll tee it up again. 3-2, 1 out. Runner at first. There he goes. Strike called. Throw down to second. And Amarista is in there safely with his 6th stolen base. Looks like a fastball, Tony, down and away.
He's certainly not happy about it. Amarista got a good jump. Gets into second base.
Only the 2nd strikeout tonight for Jeremy Hefner, and the Padres now have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And here's Carlos Quentin, first base open. He'll probably pitch to him here. 0 for 2, 2 ground outs. 4-1 lead for Hefner. Looks like a first pitch slider.
Again, he isn't giving in. He really hadn't thrown that many first pitch fastballs.
Third time around for Carlos Quentin against Jeremy Hefner. First pitch slider. And second pitch fastball misses away, 1-1. Need something to wake up this crowd.
Haven't had much to cheer about.
How about an extra base hit? How about a Fresca?
One run they scored, they got with 2 outs. They got a 2-out knock. Probably going to take a 2-out knock to score on Amarista.
Popped him up on the changeup, shallow center field, and Murphy grabs it for the final out. The Padres leave a runner stranded after 6 completed Petco. The Mets 4, Padres 1.
Right now, top of the 7th inning. Mark Sweeney, Mike Pomeranz with you. Just tough right now to solve the Mets starter, Jeremy Hefner.
Well, the Mets gave him a lead, and then he goes to the changeup. You would think he'd be aggressive with the fastball, but it's been the changeup that's given the Padre hitters some fits.
So, as I mentioned, 4-1, top of the 7th. When we see it in the post-game show, we're going to talk about Hefner. Of course, we'll talk about the challenges Edinson Volquez tried to face tonight. We've got some great features for you as well. Our instructional on how to lay down the perfect bunt with Tony Gwynn and Mark Sweeney. We'll take a look at highlights all around the league, and you're going to hear from the manager, Buddy Black. And, oh, yeah, the Major League debut of Corey Burns. We'll talk more about that when we see you in just a few moments, guys.
Thank you very much, Mike Pomeranz. I was going to say, since Hefner's been the story tonight, you guys looking very Hefner-like. You should have the smoking jackets on with the pipes out there. Looking very dapper as always. 4-1 Mets, top of the 7th. Ooh, Alex Hinshaw almost at the kneecaps of Daniel Murphy, who is 2 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
Mets have had plenty of opportunities to add to this lead. They scored 4 in the 2nd inning. They've left 9 guys on base, so they've had opportunities to extend the lead.
Breaking ball misses, and as you mentioned, Tony, very important inning for Alex Hinshaw to hold these Mets at 4 as Corey Burns looks on. After his outing, inning and 2/3, 2 hits. Did not surrender any runs. Breaking ball swung on and missed. 2-1.
That shot of Corey Burns in the dugout. Imagine what's going through his head right now.
Oh yeah,
he's made his debut. He didn't give up any runs.
Good fastball. 2-2.
I'm sure he felt like he could have done better, but
yeah, he walked 3. 1 was intentional. He struck out 2.
He's going to get some more opportunities.
Breaking ball inside the line down the third baseline. And Daniel Murphy slides into second with a double. Very close play. Now, I don't know whether Murphy was thinking about holding up as he rounded first base. I was watching the ball, Tony, but that was a close play.
Carlos Quentin made a great play. I mean, this is good hitting by Murphy. He just slaps this ball inside the bag. Carlos Quentin plays to Karen pretty well off the wrong foot. Strong throw to second base, almost gets Murphy there. See, he thought he could get there standing up, and he had to slide late. And he just got that foot in there.
So a leadoff double here in the top of the 7th, and Mike Baxter still lefty on lefty with Hinshaw out there. Fastball missing. So Daniel Murphy, 3 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. 33rd double for the Met.
For a left-hand hitter, that's the thing of beauty right there. I mean, he was a little bit fooled, and yet he still was able to keep that inside the bag at third.
Breaking ball misses. Well, Mike Baxter has yet to get a hit off a left-hander. He's 0 for 9 versus lefties this year. Long set. And the inside move just to get that runner close to second base. Put him in the back of his head. That's Daniel Murphy.
I was thinking the same thing I was thinking. It looked like Murphy was just trying to time Hinshaw's throw to the plate.
Two misses, 3-0 to Mike Baxter. I mentioned before, but Mike Baxter, a Padre back in 2010. Mike only had 8 at-bats during that stint with San Diego. Getting an opportunity in the Big Apple, where he is from. Ball 4, runners at first and second. Hey, join your Padres Sunday, August 19th, as we salute the veterans of the armed services. Come to the park early for a special pregame ceremony before your Padres take on the Giants. First pitch is 1:05. After the game, kids 14 and under are invited to come onto the field for a free batting clinic. Get your tickets now at Padres.com or get on the horn at 619-795-5555. All right, well, some tough work to do right here with nobody out. Alex Hinshaw, and looks like Bud Black's going to make a trot out to the mound. We didn't see anybody warming up until just about a second ago. Now Brad Brock will grab a baseball and get loose.
Flores coming to the plate. He struck out 3 times. So we talked about the Mets leaving 9 guys on base, pretty good chance they're probably going to bunt and move these runners into scoring position.
And I think that's what Buddy's talking about. You know, in the event of a bunt, we need to get an out here. Sure, it'd be great to get the lead runner. But bottom line here, let's pump some strikes and get an out.
Get an out. You got 8 and 9 coming up after Torres.
And as Tony mentioned, Andres Torres, more in the collar tonight. 3 strikeouts. And quickly, Brad Brock is getting that hose loose down in the bullpen. So Murphy on second. Mike Baxter on first. Nobody out. Switch hitting Torres. He's going to swing. At least he gave the look like he was going to swing. Maybe putting a little pressure on Hinshaw. Maybe make him throw a strike.
Maybe taking one. Yeah. It's struggled a little bit. So maybe you got to make Hinshaw throw a strike. So this is one of those situations where you'll get a manager's argument about this kind of situation. Pitcher struggling. Hitter has struck out 3 times. You've left 9 guys on base. Some managers don't want to give away an out.
Right.
Some managers want that hitter to make that pitcher work because he's the one who's allowed this inning to happen. Well,
you've only got 27 outs, right? And like you said, some managers just don't like to give away.
Some don't want to give away an out. They want to make the defense earn it.
There's a 1-1. Now he squares, pops it up. Get the sure out at first.
Wow.
Hinshaw does just that, and the runners move up 90 feet. Now second and third with 1 out.
Alex took a big chance on that ball, barehanding it. He was on the move towards first base. See, Torres gets this ball in the air. He realizes he can't catch it, and he barehands it. Good thing he came up with it, because if he didn't, it was going to be the bases loaded and nobody out.
So runners at second and third. Bud Black will move the infield in. Here's the Mets catcher, Josh Tolley, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Breaking ball. Ball 1. Josh Tolley on the year, hitting .220 off of left-handed pitching. So 59 at-bats.
Looks like they're going to play for the big inning here.
Swung out and missed at the breaking ball. 1-1.
Scott Harrison stepped out on deck. So it looks like Hefner's night might be done.
And Brad Brock, remember we saw him get up quickly in the Padre bullpen. He should be ready to go. One and one to Tolley. Breaking ball way behind. Now, he's got a good slider.
He does.
Alex Hinshaw.
His slider would be a lot better if he could work ahead instead of working behind.
Here's the 1-2 to Tolley. Fastball missing, 2-2. Well, Josh Tolley, he can tuck something in his back pocket and tell his grandkids he caught the first no-hitter in Mets history. That was Johan Santana. Not too many catchers can say that.
Well, one day, Padre catcher will be able to say the same thing.
Staying alive. Hinshaw flipping the breaking ball up there, trying to keep it away. Outfield is playing him to go that way. Carlos Quentin in left field is on the shallow side. And Cameron Maben on the shortstop side of second base.
I told you, battling this at bat. Late on the fastball. There he took a breaking ball, fouled it off. Checking up on that bat a little bit. He's just trying to put a ball in play here. It's 2 strikes.
Again on the breaking ball.
Again, just trying to stay alive. Making a nice play, getting congratulated by all the people around him.
Well, now you got to get the phone out and text everybody, take a picture, put it on Twitter. Breaking ball right back to Henshaw. He knocks it down, goes to first. The Mets score a run. Murphy crosses home plate for the Mets' 5th run. Now 5-1 New York.
Alex didn't get himself in good fielding position here. See, he almost went through his legs, and when he did come up with it, he only had one play. And that was the first base.
Now Bud Black out to the mound for a pitching change. Brad Brock was heating up. He should be hot and ready to go. As Scott Hairston was announced. So enter Brad Brock. Pirates and Reds held highlights. Other action in the National League. Michael McHenry, a solo home run in the 2nd inning. The Reds 5-4 winners over that NL Central race. Josh Harrison with a home run for the Buccos. The Reds, they go ahead, a ground out, a high chopper to the pitcher. That's the go-ahead run. And the Cincinnati Reds end up winning that one 5-4. As Tony mentioned earlier, that tight race in the NL Central. Cincinnati now up 5 games.
Starting to stretch it out a little bit.
And we took a look at the NL West standings earlier, now the NL Central. Well, I really thought St. Louis had a chance to be a factor as we go to August.
Remember last year they were way behind and they whittled their way back into it. Got into the playoffs on the last day of the season. So
yeah, they were 10.5 out
so
in the wild card.
I don't think you can count any one of those top 3 teams out in that division, even though the Reds have played outstanding baseball here.
Well, down on the farm, Tim Stauffer trying to make the comeback after the injuries this year. Pitched for the Lake Elsinore Storm versus Rancho Cucamonga. He started the game 1 inning, gave up 3 hits, a couple of earned runs. He faced 6 batters, so not so much the numbers that you really look at in a minor league rehab start, just how Tim felt tonight and how he will feel the next couple days after that start. So we wish Tim well. Beautiful night downtown. Padres trying to hold these Mets. They scored their 5th run here in the 7th. They lead 5-1, and Brad Brock now comes into the ball game. .216 opponent's batting average. Brad has really made great strides, Tony, out of this bullpen for San Diego.
Everybody in that bullpen, really. I mean, you're right. Got off to a slow start when he got here, and it seems like each time he gets out there, the better he gets. A pretty tough hitter here in Harrison to have to face, but Padres going to get back into this thing. They're going to have to get out of this inning.
So 2 outs, runner on third, and it is Scott Hairston. Righty on ready, first pitch slider off the plate, but called a strike. And Hairston's numbers on the year: 5 for 23 as a pinch hitter, 4 RBIs. He has a couple of home runs. And there you see his season totals. Slider popped up right side. Yonder Alonso with the flash look, camped and squeezes it for the final out. The Mets get a run. They add to their lead. After 6.5, they lead 5-1 here at Petco. Brought to you by Petco, where the healthy pets go. 6.5 in the books here at Petco. Stretch time. As the Padre faithful here at Petco Park stretch those legs and hoping the Padres can come back down by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Mets lead 5-1. Well, it was all Jeremy Hefner up to this point. Terry Collins, Tony, will turn that ball over to the left-handed reliever Josh Edgin.
See, he's got good numbers, 1-0. Opponent's hitting 205.
10 games for the left-hander. Edgin throws a fastball, slider, and a change. Rookie left-hander. Occasionally he will throw that change up, but mostly fastball, slider. This isn't Citi Field in New York, is it? We've got a plane coming in. Although not as loud here.
No.
In fact, you can't even hear him here. Not like Citi Field. Coming into LaGuardia. They're taking off from LaGuardia.
Either way.
Did that bother you as a hitter?
It really didn't. It didn't. You know, I remember playing in Old Shea. You know, lots of times that plane would be going over, hitters would step out. It didn't really bother me.
And of course, nothing really bothered you because you were so locked in. You had business to do.
Business. That's what we were there for. One of the things that throws his pitch.
Popped him up. Shallow left field. Valdespin coming in, and he'll squeeze it for the out.
One of the things that's really changed here in the last 12 years is how well they take care of the field. You know, Wrigley Field, we used to complain all the time about how thick the grass was. They've completely done a good job with that, redoing that field. Shea was the same way. Shea had more mountains than the Rockies out there. And
yeah, that wasn't a good field at all.
It was not good. And, you know, Citi Field obviously is so much nicer. And that's 10 to 12 years, teams have really done a really good job taking care of their fields.
And Luke Yoder here is the best.
God.
Everybody you talk to in the National League. Here's Cameron Maben. Cameron's 0 for 2. Well, not a lot of scratches on my scorecard for the Padres. Only 5 hits tonight. 1 run scored. That was in the 3rd inning.
Not many opportunities. Jeremy Hefner, he threw a great game. He didn't throw a whole lot of pitches either.
Popped up right side, and Murphy will squeeze that one for out number 2. Monday on Fox Sports San Diego, catch Padres Weekly. Join Annie Heilbrunn for an inside look at how the Padres are prepping for the road ahead. From the players and coaches to the staff and local legends, Padres Weekly has you covered. Monday at 5:30 right here on Fox Sports San Diego. 2 outs in the Padres 7th. Here's John Baker, who is 0 for 2. First pitch swinging to Hopper. Tejada, follow it around, see what it eats. Can't come up with it. And the Padres have a base runner here in the 7th. E6.
Once he booted it the first time, once he initially boots this ball, he still had time to pick it up, but he couldn't get it on the first attempt. Once he couldn't get it on the first attempt to pick it up, he lost any chance of getting John Baker out at first base.
For Tejada, the 8th miscue this year for the Mets shortstop. So a base runner for Everth Cabrera. Everth 2 for 2, a run scored, a single and a double. Shows bunt. Well, we talked about the stolen base for Everth Cabrera, but could even take it a step further. We've mentioned this before, but he's a combined 34 for 34 in stolen base attempts this year between Tucson and the big leagues. 19 for 19 here with the Padres. Here's the 1-0. Swung out and missed.
Fastball right there by Edge and had a little different action than it might have been a split finger fastball.
Edging can get the fastball up to the mid-90s. Here's the 1-1. Oh, foul bat. And that guy's got the death grip on that shillelagh. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah, that's what you...
I cringe every time that happens.
That one went a long way.
Why would anyone want to even get in front of that?
I don't know.
I think it may have gotten a piece of one or two of the fans, but it looks like smiles all the way around and everybody's A-okay. So 1-2 to Everett.
In case you're wondering, they probably could pick that up on the way out.
Sure.
I don't know anybody's stands.
Fisted to short. Tejada goes the long way over to first, and they just get Cabrera for the out. 7 complete here at Petco. Mets lead the Padres 5-1. Bunt the proper way to get down the bunt. And Brad Boxberger did a fine job of doing that.
He
so
really
we're
did.
Talking about that, Tony.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we'll talk about is that you saw when he see him flex his legs right there. You see the angle of the bat. He doesn't really jab at the ball. He kind of lets the ball, kind of catches the ball with his bat, and he lays down the perfect bunt. Gets the runner in scoring position, and that's how you want to do it.
So to the top of the 8th we go. The Mets lead the Padres by a score of 5-1. 5-6-1 for the Mets. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Padres. Mets have left 10 runners on base, Tony.
Yep.
And the Padres have left 4. As you mentioned earlier, not many opportunities.
Good. Jeremy Hefner, starting pitcher for the Mets. He did a great job. He got a 4-run lead early, and he mixed in his off-speed pitches. Had the Padre hitters out in front most of the night.
Hey, a crowd of 36,826. 36826 on hand tonight at Petco Park. 11,000 of those 38 or 36,000 from Scripps Healthcare.
They're having a big party out there before the game started today.
Yeah, we thank them for all they do, having a good time, wearing their T-shirts and
still working. Look at them. Just having the time of their lives.
Here's Ruben Tejada, leadoff hitter for the Mets. He is 1 for 3 with a walk. He singled in the 6th inning. Drove in his 18th run with a walk, forcing in a run in that 2nd inning. Good fastball outside corner, but misses off the corner.
Tejada's taking the place of, a guy that played shortstop for him last year, who was really one of the better players in this league. But Tejada's done a nice job for the Mets. hitting over 300. Doesn't have the pop that the guy who preceded him had, but Steady Eddie is short.
Those are big shoes to fill.
Absolutely. Jose Reyes, very, very good player. The Mets felt like they couldn't sign him.
Base hit through the 5.5 hole for Ruben Tejada. His second hit of the night.
Again, steady player right there. He's already extended his hitting streak to 10 games. He takes a fastball in, short stroke. Base hit in the left field. So not the same kind of leadoff hitter as Jose Reyes, but still doing a very good job for the New York Mets.
So Jordani Valdespin now up. He's 1 for 4. Shows bunt, but takes for a fastball right down the middle, 0-1. 2 RBI double in the second inning for Valdespin. Was blocked by Baker. How to keep that double play in order. Righty's only hitting 207 off the righty Brad Brock. Lefty's 232. Trying to get this left-handed hitter Valdespin to get it on the ground.
Throwing a 1-1 changeup right there, getting out in front of something. Valdespin did a good job laying off.
Tough to double up though. Valdespin only grounded into 2 double plays this year. 2-1 fouled off.
Good pitch right there by Brock. Not giving in, throwing the fastball. Goes from the slider.
Well, tomorrow it'll be Jason Marquis on the hill for San Diego. Matt Harvey, right-hander for the Mets. Look out. Jason Marquis 4-6. Matt Harvey 1-1. Padres live at 12 noon. Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney will be working their magic pregame show. Chopper in front of the mound. Brock makes the play at first base. And Ruben Tejada moves up to second base in the scoring position. So 1-3 on the putout. What Black did earlier announced, Tony, when the Cubs series starts Monday. It'll be Eric Stoltz Monday, Ross Ollendorf Tuesday, and Clayton Richard Wednesday when the Cubbies come to town. Got to take care of these Mets first. So with 1 out, David Wright. Oh for 2 with 2 walks, one of them intentional. High strike.
Yeah, Davis really struggled against the Pies, and you just know he's a good hitter sooner or later. Let's hope it starts to happen for him next week.
Pitch up and in, misses. Well, it all started for David Wright as a Met back in 2001. First year at Kingsport, rookie ball. Remember those days, T?
Yeah.
2-1 to Wright.
It didn't take him that long to get to the show. He's been a very good player from the very beginning.
3.5 years for him to make it to the big leagues.
Really, that long?
See, I don't think that's that long.
Well,
I think
he
you're right.
signed out of high school. Always has shown to be a really good hitter. Uses the whole field. Very good situational hitter. And for some reason, the Padres have really had his number this year.
Two and 2. And Brock puts him away with a freeze fastball right on the outside corner. That is some big league pitching right there.
just says, here it is. With the fastball center cut. David Wright can't pull the trigger on it.
You think he was looking, his body language maybe looking for something with a wrinkle in it, Tony?
I would think so. But see, that's in a situation where 2 strikes you can't be guessing.
Yeah.
You just gotta try to react to whatever that guy throws.
So a big strikeout for Brad Brock. 2 outs here in the Mets' 8th. And Ike Davis, 1 for 4 on the evening. Breaking ball, line drive, 1 hopper to Will Venable. Rounding third, Ruben Tejada. Here's the play at the plate, and he slides in safely, and the Mets add on. Now 6-1 New York.
Rick Davis, first pitch, Hackett. Here it is, Will Venable. Not a real strong throw this time. Alonso cutting that thing off. If he was able to make a stronger throw, they probably had a shot at Tejada. Nice throw, short hop, cutoff man. And the Mets add to the lead.
So the 61st RBI of the season for Ike Davis is the 6th run here in the top of the 8th. Here's Daniel Murphy, who has 3 knocks on the night. 3 for 3 with a walk, 2 runs scored for Daniel Murphy. Oh, where'd that one is? One slider misses, 2-1. Well, in the Padres' 8th, it'll be 9-1-2. Pitcher spot, Amarista Venable due up in the bottom half of this inning. Change up. Yes, he did. A little tardy on the fastball. Well, tomorrow's pitching matchup, Matt Harvey will be making his 3rd start for the New York Mets. Primetime Padres at 12 o'clock on Fox Sports San Diego. Padres live with Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney, and against Jason Marquis making his 12th start. That's got to keep those nails, those cuticles taken care of. Jason Marquis closely scouting these New York Mets, who he's going to go after tomorrow. 3-2. Nina making a nice play down there. That was routine for her.
See here with 2 strikes, Murphy not really thinking about pulling the ball. He's going to back that thing up and try to hit it to left field like he did the last time. That's challenged him with pretty good fastballs, even at 8.
Breaking ball, single to center field. Ike Davis rounds second. He will go to third. 4-hit night for Daniel Murphy.
Breaking ball, and he stays on it nicely. Crisply hits that ball into center field and ties his career high with 4 hits. He's done that a couple times already this year.
So Mike Baxter comes to the plate tonight. He has walked 4 times and scored a run. Dale Thayer starts to heat up for the Padres in the Padre bullpen. Brad Brock throwing pitch number 28. And the one thing Bud Black has had to do tonight, Tony, because of the short start, is to try to spread out these relievers. Yep. And if you just joined us, catching late part of the game, Edson Volquez just couldn't find it tonight, folks. He just didn't have the release point on that fastball, and difficulty with the breaking ball. Only going an inning and 2/3. He only gave up 2 hits, but 4 runs. He walked 4, struck out 3. And then that's when Bud Black turned it over to the bullpen. Fastball for a strike. 9 walks tonight for the Padres staff, and
not going to get it done.
Yeah.
It'll be very difficult. The Mets have left 10 guys on base, and you hope you can leave a couple more.
3-1. And ball 4 to Mike Baxter, his 5th walk of the night. And that'll load him up. Buddy with a scorecard in hand, double switch. Dale Thayer was warming, so it looks like it will be number 55. And Everett Cabrera out of the game. So it looks like Logan Forsythe is out on that diamond getting his arm loose. There's Logan. So as we take a look ahead for the Padres, Mets in town for the weekend. Chicago Cubs coming to town for 3, and then a day off on August 9th. And then Tony, it's hitting the road against the Buccos, who are trying to make some noise in the NL Central, stay at pace with the Cincinnati Reds and Atlanta. A short road trip considering.
Yeah, but that would be a heat check road trip. Pittsburgh contending in the Central, Atlanta contending in the East. 2 pretty good ball clubs, and then finish this road trip off. You got to go through Atlanta, and you know who's going to be smoking there.
Well, the Giants are in Colorado, and it's always an adventure there. So let's take a peek into some National League West action. Buster Posey. No doubt about that one. Going halfway up the bleachers at Coors Field, putting the Giants on the board at the top of the first. A 2-run shot. And Melky Cabrera. It is high. It is far. It is gone. A home run for the Milkman. 10-5, top of the 9th. Giants over the Rockies in Colorado.
Nice. Swinging the bat, 16 runs last night, 10 already tonight.
So Logan Forsythe will go in to play shortstop, and he will bat 9th. And Dale Thayer will bat 8th in Everett Cabrera's spot. See the numbers on Dale Thayer. 38th game for the right-hander. And Dale will inherit the bases loaded. So this is huge here. Two outs, bases loaded. And Andres Torres has had a tough night. 3 strikeouts and a sacrifice in the 7th inning. First pitch breaking ball, 4 strike.
Baxter, 5 walks tonight. Wow,
Yeah.
you just don't see that happen very often.
0-1 from Thayer. Fastball missing, 1-1. So Ike Davis on third base. Daniel Murphy on second. Mike Baxter on first. And Andres Torres trying to break it open. Breaking ball grounded to the right side. Alonso with the backhand. Covering is Thayer. And the Mets leave them loaded here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Mets lead the Padres by 5. 8th. And Padre fans, I want to remind you, Sunday at Fox Sports San Diego, join Tom Brokaw for Boys in the Hall. Personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends. This week, it's the late, great Harmon Killebrew. Boys in the Hall, Sunday, presented by Subway Restaurants, where winners eat. Beautiful shot across the bridge at Petco Park as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Logan Forsythe, who went into play shortstop on the double switch, will lead it off. It'll be Forsythe, Amarista, and Venable do up in the Padre 8th. Josh Edgen, the left-hander, still on the hill for the Mets, and a line drive, base hit right field for Logan Forsythe.
Just a bit of hitting right there. He took that ball and went the other way. Took a changeup. Take a look. Changeup away, didn't try to pull it, went right with it.
Tony, you'll know more about hitting than I will, but I just love the way Forsythe approaches certain counts, certain situations. He's so short and quick to the baseball.
Well, that's the thing I like. He's got a short stroke. And when your stroke is that short, it's going to enable you to hit a whole lot of pitches. We saw it right there. That was a changeup. Pretty good changeup, running away from him. He didn't try to pull it. He went right with it.
So here's the top of the order, Alexi Amarista, who's 3 for 3. 3 singles for Alexi. Count in his favor, 2-0. Padres trail by 5.
Now you just want to try to keep the inning going.
Bobby Parnell is warming in the Mets bullpen. 2-0. Oh, high breaking ball for a strike. Another called strike. All those pitches. I don't know if that's by design, but Edgen going up and in to Alexi Amarista.
I think Amarista is not agreeing with Angel Hernandez, but young player's not going to say very much.
Got him swinging. First strikeout for Edgen.
The last 2 pitches I wasn't sure about, but that ball right there is a strike. At least it could have pulled off of that a little bit.
Chris Denorfia is announced, and he will pinch hit for Will Venable. So Chris Denorfia in the pinch, 4 for 18 with an RBI. Jason Marquis on the right. Getting a good look at these Mets for tomorrow afternoon. First pitch, little breaking ball, little cutter in there for a strike. By the way, Tony, you know those 5 walks tonight from Mike Baxter ties a Mets record. Just missed.
I guess you have to feel good about not having an at bat and walked 5 times.
Sure. Helps the on base percentage, right?
He scored 1 run. Most hitters like to swing the bat.
Knee high strike on the outside corner.
A little backdoor cutter right there by Edgen. He's come out of the bullpen throwing strikes.
Breaking ball down and in. They check. He did not go. Trying to nibble that outside corner with a slider and misses.
He's not missing by much. He's been pretty consistent with it. Laid off that ball, so 3-2.
Trying to stay down and away. Hot smash right side. And just like that, the Mets roll a double play. Nothing going for the Padres. Mets lead by 5. Last inning here at Petco tonight, top of the 9th, Mets, and a great job by Bill, Craig, and Robbie down in the truck putting that music video together. They working their magic down in the truck, yo. They're the best. That's why we got them. They're our guys. So nobody can have them. Dale Thayer continues to work here at the top of the 9th. It'll be Tolley. Pitcher spot, Josh Edgin, probably pinch hit, and then Ruben Tejada for the Mets. Thayer quickly ahead 1-2. Tolley 0 for 3 tonight. He walked in the second inning, forcing a run, and he also scored a run. Choking up on that bat control, trying to fight it off.
A couple of bats like that tonight, choking up, trying to just stay alive up there. You see him choking up on the bat. Trying to put the ball in play.
Outfield playing Tolley to go the other way. Breaking ball.
I don't think John Baker got any glove on that breaking ball right there, and they're going to have a conversation. Looks like Baker was looking for the fastball. Thayer threw him the breaking ball. Check it out. He's going to try to throws this breaking ball. And Baker definitely not looking for it. He's looking for a fastball right there. So
I don't know whether he couldn't see the signs. Maybe, dark when John Baker's down to the squat. Who knows? But it's 2-2. Well, the Mets scored 4 in the second. Padres answered back in the bottom of the third with 1 run, and then 2 more for the Mets. 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and that's where we stand, 6-1. The Mets have out-hit the Padres 9-6 tonight. Just haven't been able to get any offense going tonight. Breaking ball will find the stands.
Not a whole lot of opportunities for the Padres tonight.
Well, we mentioned that the Phillies beat the Diamondbacks 3-0. Washington beat the Marlins 10-7. Hey, the Astros won a game. 3-2 over the Braves. They struggled in the month of July, big time. Let's take a look at the rest of the National League. We covered the West and Central, and I'll tell you what, Tony, those Washington Nationals, they're still pitching well.
Yep, they got pitching. Their offense is getting better, too.
2-horse race. 18 Hopper to the right side. One out here in the 9th. How often do you keep in touch with Steven Strasburg, Tony?
My coaches text him quite a bit. They talk that way. I'm of the mind I like to let them do their thing, but, they stay close, talk on the, do that Twitter thing, texting stuff,
His arm is as strong as ever after that surgery, too.
You know what? They're talking about the pitch limit. I know he wants to pitch.
Yeah.
And obviously, the Nationals are going to do what they have to do.
I mean, he's not there for decoration. You're trying to fight for a pennant.
No. But they're also thinking down the road. They did the same thing with Zimmerman last year. Talking about doing the same thing with Steven. And I can tell you this. Steven's not going to be happy one way or the other. I mean, he wants to pitch. So we'll see what happens down the stretch with the Nationals. Because they're playing good. They're playing real good baseball.
So Justin Turner now pinch hitting in the pitcher spot. Josh Edgen in the number 9 spot. Justin Turner in the pinch this year. 10 for 32. He's driven in 6. Bases empty. Padres trail by 5. 6-1 here in the top of the 9th. Breaking ball popped up center field. We got a guy there. 2 gone in the 9th. Top of the order for the Mets, Ruben Tejada. 6th plate appearance tonight for Tejada. 2 for 4 with a walk.
Seems like everybody in that Mitten lineup has walked at one point or another. And that's one of the big reasons why they've left 13 on base. They have 9 hits, but they've left 13.
Well, according to my calculations, 10 walks tonight issued by the Padre pitchers. And Tejada takes strike 1. Slider down the right field line. That'll find the seats. Well, if you're looking ahead to the Padre 9th, it'll be Headley, Quinton, Alonso. Sounds like at least a run. The Padres can get something going. Nice grab by that young man.
Look at the smile, like you said. Anytime someone gets one of those
Isn't it
balls,
amazing?
There's a big smile on their face.
2-seamer fouled at the plate.
Just wait for you, Mud, to say, watch, he's going to pull the phone out right here.
Oh, yeah, he's got to call his friends. Absolutely. Well, let's take a look. Is it on the fly or is it on the juggle? Is it on the 4th bounce? Look at that. Little hacky sack and the 2-handed grab by the young man. Nicely done.
He had his hat off, too. He was ready to catch it with his hat.
Well, Ruben Tejada.
Nice grab.
Another good grab?
Yeah, nice grab.
See, he brought his glove.
Big smile. Wave to everybody.
Give us a wave. Come on.
Reach his glove up there.
Oh, beautiful.
Catch.
Ground ball to short. Last chance for the Padres coming up. They trail by 5. Mets lead 6-1. Carl's Jr. star of the game tonight. The Carl's Jr. starter pitcher for the New York Mets, Jeremy Hefner, did a fine job looking for his second win as he went 6 solid innings, 5 hits, 1 run. He did not walk a Padre, and he struck out 2. So Carl's Jr. star of the game. Terry Collins started tonight. Jeremy Hefner.
Just gave him that early lead, and boy, he pitched really well tonight for the Mets.
So a new pitcher to close it out for the New York Mets, right-hander Bobby Parnell. He has a 5-run pad. And it'll be Headley, Quentin, and Alonso as Chase Headley swings at the first pitch. Long drive, left center field, off the top of the fence, and it's a home run for Chase Headley. Number 14 on the year for Chase. Second run of the night for the Padres. Now 6-2 Mets. I didn't think that ball was going to get out, T.
I really didn't either. The ball was up in the zone. And, boy, he got on top of that ball and drove it to left center field. Deepest part of the ballpark. Excellent swing. And I'm watching Torres run after this ball. He just gave up on it, and it hits the top of the wall and goes out of the ballpark.
First pitch, Hacking. Chase Headley. First pitch, Hacking, Carlos Quentin. Off the top of the wall and into the Padre bullpen. Hey, who says you have to hit him 450 feet? 401 is just fine. Thank you very much.
401 with a little bit of backswing to help get over that fence.
So team leading 14th home run for Chase Headley. RBI number 58 for the Padre third baseman. So the Padres now in slam range. Trail by 4. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen a hitter. Carlos Quentin always asks for help. I don't think he went on it because
he's pointing because he didn't think he went. He
exactly.
just wants to make sure. But
exactly. Oh, upon second look, what do you think?
I think he went. I don't think he wanted to. But.
Tough to hold up. 1-2, ground ball to short. Plenty of time for Tejada. First out here in the Padre ninth. Yeah, I think that's why Carlos does that, because he feels he doesn't go.
Said because a lot of umpires call that themselves behind the plate. He's just saying, "Hey, check with him." And I guarantee you, he's sure he in his mind didn't think he went on that. He just wanted him to check with first to make sure.
You know, it's got to be tough. Big, strong kid like Carlos Quentin. You get that bat going, that's tough to hold up.
Yeah.
So one out here in the Padre ninth. Yonder Alonso laces one into left center field. That's going to be for extra bases. Yonder Alonso cruises into second base with his 30th double of the year.
You were watching the game with us earlier tonight. Just think about what Jeremy Hefner did. He changed speeds, he changed up into a breaking ball. Parnell comes in here in the ninth, and he's chucking 96, 97 miles an hour. Headley hits a home run, and now Alonso takes that fastball and drives it up the gap in left center field. He's on a pace where he's going to get 50 doubles this year.
Yeah. Now his 30th, as I mentioned, number one in doubles for National League rookies. And when you're talking from a Padres standpoint, most doubles in a season, he's chasing Rookie of the Year in 1987, Benito Santiago.
I think he's got that one in the bag, as long as he stays healthy.
Oh, yeah. Beniago, as we called him, at 33. So a runner in scoring position for Cameron Maybin. Frank Francisco heating up in the Mets pen. (3-0). Padres need base runners, multiple base runners. John Baker waits on deck.
For a run, you got to take 3-0.
By the way, that was also Yonder Alonso's 100th hit going into today. Now he's tied with Zach Cozart in the rookie category for most hits at 100. Ball 4 to Maybin. You've got the bench coach Bob Guerin, you've got the pitching coach Dan Northern, and of course skipper Terry Collins trying to figure it all out. And it looks like Collins is going to make the move to Francisco. Well, with the tying run on deck, this will be a safe situation for Francisco. Padres making it interesting here. So exit Bobby Parnell, enter Frank Francisco.
Collins wasn't going to take a chance and let this game get out of hand.
Well, Frank Francisco is the closer for the New York Mets. Fastball, splitter, curveball. 32-year-old. You know, he had been on the DL since the end of June with a left oblique strain. He's only given up 3 home runs in 29 innings. More strikeouts than innings pitched, but a high ERA, Tony.
Yeah. Power arm. Like I said, just getting back into action from the Padres standpoint.
Yep.
They need to make sure he comes in and throws strikes because, you know, you're just trying to keep the train rolling right here. You got a couple of guys on base, and you got a new pitcher coming in, and you got to make sure that at least you're swinging at strikes.
Well, since we're talking about closers, Frank Francisco, how about talking about the all-time Padres closer, Trevor Hoffman, earlier today out at the Park in the Park before the game, visiting with some military families. Trevor, he and his wife Tracy, very involved in leaving military families tickets throughout his playing days as a San Diego Padres, and always wanted to strike up a conversation and bring some smiles to the Padre faithful out there at the Park in the Park. Nice job.
I saw him out there before we did our instruction. Look, he looks great. I can't believe how big his kids have gotten. He was psyched up about what he did for TV for you guys on the road trip. He didn't think he did a good job. I said, I was watching. I thought you did a great job.
Absolutely. just talking some ball, being himself, and having some fun with Mike Pomerantz. As Frank Francisco has just completed his 8 warm-up tosses, John Baker will stroll up to the dish with runners at first and second. The Padres are in slam range. The tying run is on deck. Yonder Alonso aboard with a double, his 30th of the year. And Cameron Maben aboard via the walk. Baker 0 for 2. He was aboard on an error in the 7th. Ball 1. These Friars ain't going to give up now.
No, they're not. They're going to make it. They're going to make the Mets earn it.
You know, we talked about hits, runs, and fire yesterday being one of the keys. They got some serious fire in their belly now. Baker swings and a roller to short. Tejada will take it himself. 6-3 on the double play. And that's the way this one ends. Mets win Game 2 by a final score of 6-2. Let's send it out to Mike Pomerantz. Mike, what do you got going?
Good job on the call, Marky. We're going to see you in a post-game show in a couple of minutes. Got a lot on our plate. There was a great instructional. Folks, if you missed it in the pregame show, got to check it out in the postgame. Tony Gwynn, Mark Sweeney teach you how to lay down the perfect bunt. You'll hear from the manager, Buddy Black. And a great feature on the guys who've been injured and their road back to health. We'll see you in the postgame show in a moment.